The same people, same culture, killing each other, stealing each other's cattle, burning their villages. As I said, we are going to treat them in the language they will understand. We have given the police and the military power to be ruthless.
Sometimes we get, and that's what's happening to people in the streets. That's where they're moving. That's why they're demonstrating. That's why they're defying even threats from the police, from the government. If you demonstrate, you're a threat to us. If you do this, we'll deal with you. We'll talk to you in language which you understand. It doesn't wash with anybody any longer. Because if the nation is on a suicide slide, the people who feel that they do not deserve that kind of suicidal plunge, they have a right to say, sorry.
The problem is the Northwest. The same people, same culture, killing each other, still.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Welcome once again from the Dallas studios of Distinct Media. I'm Noah Omoluabi, and this is another series in our program of Your Exit, a program where we ask the tough questions of the mighty and demand accountability from the powerful as we discuss the changes and the issues going on in Nigeria. This week we are talking, we titled the program Responding to Kongi. And people have been asking me, who is Kongi? Kongi is the man who wrote, that famous quote, "The man dies in all who keeps silent in the face of tyranny." And this same man has been accused of being silent, including cowardice in the recent time, in the face of the ongoing carnage in Nigeria. Then he spoke. He says, "I'm impressed." And I'm going to ask somebody in a minute, how does that make them feel when somebody like Wole Soyinka says, "I'm impressed"? My guest this afternoon is no less than Mr. Stephen Inada. Mr. Stephen Inada is the executive president of the International Committee on Nigeria. It's a Washington-based missionary group that's been very active in the field in Nigeria, so they know what's going on in there. And they came up with this wonderful report, which prompted that particular statement, "I'm impressed." And we're going to be, talking to, Mr. Inada in a minute. But let me say once again where the name Kongi comes from, particularly from my perspective. Professor Wole Soyinka is a father figure to me. He's in fact the father of one of my classmates, one of my friends. So I've known him for quite a while, apart from stealing into University of Ife. It used to be University of Ife in those days. It's called Obafemi Awolowo today. Stealing into there to go and watch some of his plays. He's been a very, very powerful influencer as far as I know it. He's a very great man who has been, concerned about leadership development of young people. And his work, still continues to shake Nigeria today. I don't need to tell you much about the Pirates Confraternity. I don't need to tell you much about the Palm Wine Drinkers Club. And like we also all have agreed, he's a big man by himself. My guest calls him an international citizen or global citizen. So every one of us has a right, to tap into this great man. But when this man says in the press, in the presence of a world, in a world conference, says, "I'm impressed," I want to ask Stephen Inada, who is, a co-author of that particular book that my father was holding. Inada is a co-author on that book. And how does it feel when somebody like, somebody of the magnitude of Wole Soyinka says, I'm impressed? Sir. Stephen?
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, well, I was just introducing Wole Soyinka, and I'm, asking how do you feel when somebody of the caliber of Wole Soyinka holds that book, Nigeria's Silent Slaughter, and says, I'm impressed? How does it make you feel as a person?
Well, the stature, the person of Professor Wole Soyinka, that everybody will talk of him, or even globally. Even here, you see, if you are going through Atlanta airport, and then you begin to see the picture gallery, you will see Professor Wole Soyinka with other eminent global leaders. So, and I remember in the 80s, while still in secondary school, we read a lot, we read about his literature, and honestly, I still remember The Lion and the Jewel. But that said, he's somebody, not just because he's a Nigerian, he's somebody whose opinion counts so much. So he's an international colossus that actually is respected everywhere in the world. But now, even much more than being respected, he's also somebody who speaks to issue of injustice, human rights violations from time to time. So for him to have mentioned or to have lauded the Nigerian Silent Slaughter, it's really, for me, I'm delighted to hear him respond to the data, and also to recommend it for other people to look into, so that they will be able to aggregate and see how they can bring about the issues confronting Nigeria to the global attention.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, listening to that, certain words pop at me right away. Respect, that is one thing. The other point is, when he says I'm impressed, and I'm looking at, it's a book. This is a great writer by every right, by every yardstick you want to measure it. So what went into this book that could have hinted at that could have got Professor Wole Soyinka impressed? For instance, we've seen of genocide, we've heard of genocide, we've seen everything in WhatsApp and in the social media and the newspapers and what have you. What's so unique, what's so special about your report?
Yes, this is a global practice. Now, like I keep on telling, let me just try to explain carefully here what it means to document atrocity. So now, if you go anywhere, when people try to share gory pictures of dead bodies, mutilated, killed by Boko Haram or Fulani militants, or state actors and non-state actors in Nigeria, the question is that how provable are these reports? Now, what we have learned over time, from Sudan to Bosnia to Rwanda and to Iraq, what actually has made people to respect and pay attention to incident of atrocities or genocide is proper documentation that is provable, that you are not just trying to populate the list for the sake of it. Now, a lot of people will not understand that Iraq genocide was declared in Iraq, but a lot of people will not know that Boko Haram has killed more people in Nigeria than ISIS killed in Iraq and Syria combined. Now, why is this? It's important that you begin to look at proper documentation, and what we mean by proper documentation is that ICON and PSG that produce this document, this atrocity data, we go back 20 years, and then we were able to use other secondary source of information and we glean through them, and then we use eyewitness app as well that picks pictures and capture incident on the spot, and then it recorded it and transport it into the cloud, where you now between longitude and latitude, and this is a geocoding of a thing. Now, that said, why it is important is that we went to make sure we visited the crime scene, we carry out interview, and then we process all of these atrocities seen in the last 20 years. And we are actually going to come with another second data report that did not capture last year to this year. But this is what, and that is going to be on the enslavement, like Professor Wole Soyinka has asked us to work on. Now, let me just respond again quickly that when we are talking about international community to listen and to take action in what is happening in Nigeria, first of all, the killing in Nigeria is an international crime. So it concerns anybody. It's not that maybe Nigeria is aloof. So every killing that happens in Nigeria committed by state and non-state actors is actually a global crime. And to make it a global crime, there are 3 strategies, and that is what we have used in our silent slaughter. The strategy is document. Documentation is important. Before you approach International Criminal Court in The Hague, the first question is, do you have any documentation of atrocity? And now the question is that it's not just banding any documentation, it is carefully collected documentation of this atrocity and genocidal activities that have claimed lives. So you document, and not just documenting, because documentation helps in prosecution, documentation helps in post-conflict stabilization, documentation even helps in government policy or international policy when it comes to crime. Then you go to declaration. Whether you like it or not, documentation will lead to declaration. Now, silent slaughter is documentation, but now this has been informing U.S. Congress, it has been informing even international community that this has happened. So now the international community will now use this documentation to declare. So the purpose of this...
Let me just interrupt you there, because yeah, it's a lot of technical details there, but we want to examine the value, the real value of this heavy work, this major work that you have done. And the question so I'm actually getting from here is this. You've done this great work and put all this together, and they are going to, at some point in time, put it in front of the Nigerian government. You know, and, you know, like the Nigerian government has been on haywire, looking for any excuse to call everybody else a liar. You know, and even the amount of genocide going on, they are blaming it on somebody else. How would, because I'm asking you, you know, I'm asking this question because I know that this report and similar reports from you are in front of big international organizations like the International Criminal Court, the United Nations, the American Congress. If they put this in the presence of Buhari and his people, how will they not call you a liar?
Well, they won't call us a liar because, one, there are forensic evidence, and that actually, you see, calling somebody, and that is why I say that because Buhari government has not been adequately called to account for what is happening, then they can now say, oh, it's a lie. So we are calling them to come to the fore. Let's engage, let's discuss that these are documents, these are evidences, and this evidence that we have, evidences we have collected, that we have collected evidence that Boko Haram has killed people, and they've actually declared that Nigeria should become an Islamic caliphate. And also there are evidences that Fulani militants have killed and even have annexed lands. So we have that, and that is not something that you can throw under the carpet. So this is, and that is what I'm just saying now, is that we are at the process, and everything, you don't rush it. Now, we have already documented, and we are now asking U.S. government and international community to declare that genocide has been committed in Nigeria. And then the third phase we are pushing is deployment. So international community is not about Nigeria government now, because this is actually international crime committed against Nigeria people, what this means is that there is going to be deployment. International community they are going to declare, they are going to deploy all the requisite instruments that help resolve Sudan problem, that help resolve Rwanda problem, even though it was too late. In all the genocide scenes we have experienced throughout the world, the third aspect is the deployment, and that is what we are working at. And when deployment comes, you know what that will do? The deployment means genocide will be recognized that it's been committed in Nigeria. There will be international commission of inquiry, which will now sit down. It's not going to be Nigeria government now. Nigeria government will be forced to come to the table where all ethnic nationality will come, and then they will table their evidence. Because at that time, you need evidence to validate your claim that this has been committed in our place. And it is then the international community say, what is the way forward? It is then that either regional government, either referendum for people to go their separate ways. So this is actually how it works, and that is what we are doing, and we are not losing sight, because documentation is evidence that you are trying to gather, and evidence that will help prosecute the perpetrator. So Nigeria government can be lying, but time is coming shortly where they don't have any place to hide, but to answer to those atrocities, or why they allow Nigerians to be killed in their thousands.
Okay, thank you, sir. Congratulations once again for this wonderful work and the book. But I want to ask you, what would you expect Nigerians to be doing right now, particularly as the Nigerian government is rushing, determined to hold its own elections and appoint new people, elect new people, as it were, into government? What should Nigerians be doing right now? What will you advise?
Thank you. The truth of the matter is that Nigeria government is, for what it is now, is a rogue government. But that said, it's still operating what we can call quasi-democracy. And that is like what I can even call autocratic government. And in any autocratic regime, the masses must be very careful, because Buhari is notorious for clamping down on even civil society organizations, trying to bring awareness or shine light to what is happening in Nigeria. So now, what I would advise Nigerians is that, one, you don't confront an autocratic government if you don't have international community monitoring the event. All you need to do as a Nigerian now is, for you, documentation, and we begin to align, join voices to say this is happening, and push it to the appropriate quarter, to international organs. United Nations and its ancillary bodies are one. Then you begin to look who are the friends of Nigeria, because a lot of business interest is involved also. So you begin to look at those who highlight. So now, what Nigerians should be able to do now is, as documentation is going on, then it is forming coalition with other international bodies to actually shine that light, and that comes to media, like what you are doing now. Media to sensitize people, media to engage people, and to push seriously. Because when you are now saying 2023 should not hold, what you are telling international community is that you are trying to destroy democracy. Because first of all, you have not validly proved to the international community yet that this is the reason why election must not hold. And that is the reason why we are pushing to make sure declaration happens quickly and deployment happen quickly. When those two things happen, I tell you, election might not hold. But for what people are just saying, oh, 2023 is a wish. So Nigeria government doesn't respond to wish. Over time, a dictatorial government responds to coercion by international community, who will say this is the right thing to do. You are party to Rome Statute, international convention, and all the protocol, you have to observe it. And they will bring Nigeria government on her knees to dialogue and try to look for a solution to this problem, which Nigeria government has caused, not Nigerians caused it. Nigeria government is unable to protect our people, and that is why we have to move fast to make sure we rally nations like US, UK. A lot of people are talking that US has a lot of problems. Every nation has a lot of problems, but US still has a lot of influence And I tell you, nobody should be deceived with what is happening in Afghanistan. Nigeria is second Afghanistan. So that is why it's reasonable, and it is now that we should begin to tell Nigerians, say they shouldn't rest on their oars, collect information, document it, and then rally around just one common cause. And that common cause will bring about declaration that atrocity, genocide has been committed in Nigeria, and that will push for deployment.
Thank you, sir. Supposing, well, two questions in one, actually. If somebody were to be interested in your work, want to join you or contribute one way or another, how can they find you? My second question, yes, if they wanted a copy or access to this book, how do they get it?
Yeah, if you go to iconhelp.org, you can you just click, then you just see engage and resources. You just see e-copy of the 310-page document. They're free to download. You can have it, and then if you we are out of physical copies now, because when it was published summer last year, and over thousands have been distributed. So we tell people to go to our website, iconhelp.org, and on that website they'll be able to access the digital copy, and that they can find every information, what Professor Wole Soyinka spoke to, and those areas he read when it comes to legal brief, genocide in Nigeria. And that is why Professor Wole Soyinka is just saying this is the right document to initiate international conversation in what is happening in Nigeria, because anywhere you go, I mustn't lie to you, either in the ICC, either in the UK Parliament, either in the US Congress, either in the EU Parliament, what they ask is document, document, document. And now when the Nigerian government was trying to say, oh, it never happened, now it happened, and we've had our documentation that has proved that genocide and genocidal activities are still ongoing in Nigeria. And time is coming, time of reckoning is near. Time that Nigerian government will account is very, very near.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy. You got to move on to something else right now. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye.
Nigeria has become a union of death for the rest of us. The global powers have told Nigeria in very clear terms that guns should be kept out of the table of discussion, and a dialogue opened up with the owners of the sovereignty, with the people. Time is now to go discuss with the owners of the sovereignty that is now called Nigeria, and to work out constitutions that will work.
Hi, welcome back. It's Noah Maluabi still here, and my next guest is joining now, and we'll, like we promised you, it's always a wonderful time on this program. Today we are responding to Kongi, Professor Wole Soyinka, as we all know it. Like we've been saying, he's been rather quiet for a while, but now he's speaking. is speaking. The man who told you that the man dies, who in the face of tyranny keeps quiet. Now he's speaking, and the world is listening. The world is listening to him. So, and another great man that the world is listening to, he's been here before, and he's going to join me right now. He doesn't need any major introduction. He's a Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa. I'm going to just, he's a big man on his own right. And I'm going to give him another name that will shock him today, whether he likes it or not. Because that's what I call him to people. I call him our diaspora Igboho. He's doing exactly what Chief Sunday Igboho was doing, or let's say what Chief Sunday Igboho started off. And I think they started it off together. This man has been pulling people, pulling ranks, pulling everything from everywhere to make sure that this self-determination agenda is not killed. The awareness keeps on rising among people, Nigerians generally, and Yoruba people particularly. Like I described in the last time, whether it's a religious front or in the general public, in any organization, you mention him, he is there. He is known and is there making it happen. Working hard as the chairman of the mega rally, the 1 million man march, is Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa. Let him say hi before we hit off on the program.
Thank you so much, sir. The Lord bless you. My grace to everybody in the house. The Lord will bless you for today.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the first question to you, sir, is this. We know you've been doing great and mighty things, trying to get this thing, the campaign moving. And we have a big one coming up. The 1 million man march. And to be honest with you, when I was preparing for this program, somebody called me and asked me, is New York not congested enough? You want to add another 1 million men into that space? How do you want to do it? Where are you going to keep them? You want to kill the police or what? What are you trying to do? Sir, can you answer the question?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Firstly, I first of all thank God. All glories to God. And big kudos to you, sir, for the great job you have been doing and for the way that God has been using you. I pray that the Lord will grant you more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and more grace to your elbow. You will live long, and the Lord will preserve you for all the evils.
Amen.
For the question is not that so much. When we talk about the New York, we know that New York is a big city. We know that. And for people coming down for the 1 million mega rally march, we should know that it's not all the people that reside in the New York that is coming out for the rally. So, because of they don't know how to help the situation, we are coming to assist them. You understand? We are coming to assist them in order to promote the rally. So no matter the numbers they have on the table already, we are just coming to join them and to help them for the rally. So that's just it. So no matter how people that is coming, it will contain every one of us. It's not going to be congested. We are ready very well. We are there.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
the second question goes this way. Now, 1 million people, even 1,000 people in one spot is not a small crowd. That's
Yes,
going to get CNN and the entire world concerned. Whoever is inside that United Nations building must know that some people are outside. Something is happening outside there. Question then is, what are you going to be, how are you going to get your message across? What's going to be, what are the banners going to read? I ask this question because the thing, for instance, Professor Banji Akintoye will be discussing inside the hall, needs to match the noise that is going on outside. what U.S. congressmen, to be honest, I was actually at a meeting with some U.S. congressmen, and they were asking us, what do you really want? You know, what do you really want? So, and that's where the concern, you know, gets out. What will your banners, because I know that's something that's within your power, what will the banners be reading, apart from Yoruba Nation now?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Two questions comes out from me. That's your question,
Yes,
if
sir.
I may get it right. Number one, uh, what do we really want? You understand? That's the number one. And what the banner will read out, the message. Number one is that the banners will send the message. Is going to read the message out. It's not going to base on the Yoruba nation alone or rallies alone. The banners will show a lot of atrocity. When you are saying that something is happening, there must be an evidence to prove that this is what I'm talking about. On the banner, it will show that these are the people, you know, people that are coming there. It's not that they will just come and be reading it on the street, but when we show the banners and it shows most of the atrocities that have been happened. And then when you get home, like you know, everywhere will be covered by the camera. Sometimes when you get home, you can have your time to now check it all what happened at that event. Then you can still get most of the messages through the banners or through the poster, through the postcard, and all those things that we're going to display them on that day. So if you give them the avenue to read, you know, they might not move closer to us, but through the banners, we are sending the message across to them already. That is number one. Then number two, but when Baba will be inside, and when we are outside, also rallying in outside, we are even calling it a protest as well too. But we want these people to know that something is really going on back home, where the country, that is the country they formerly called Nigeria. Because to me, I don't see it as a Nigerian anymore. You understand? So I call it as a zoo, as a location 419, because it's not a Nigerians anymore. Nigerian has expired in 2013. So that is, yes, according to amalgamation 1914. So it shows that 100 years and 100 years has expired already. So it's no more the country anymore. You understand? So when the whole nation will come down on that day and see every one of us, they will know that these people, for them to come out in a mass like this, that means something is happening over there. And compared to the news and the information that this woman, Deputy United Nations inside there, I forgot her name, due to the information that she's giving them, the impression that she's giving them that nothing is happening in Nigeria, nothing is going on there, or what is happening there is just a minor issue or all this. But when they see about 1 million mass protests on that day, they will question her. But you said there's nothing going on in that country. Why these people come out like this? That means definitely something must be happening there. Something is wrong somewhere. So you need to explain to us. And that coming out on that day is a message to all the world for them to know and for them to see us that, oh, definitely these people, they are not okay. There must something happen with these people. What these people want, then the question will come out. What do you want? What we want is referendum. We want our freedom of our people. We want the Yoruba nation to be what? To be raised up and to be raised the flag up. And we don't want to be the part of them anymore. We are enabled, we are okay to stand on our own and to patronize everything that we want by ourselves. We are no more part of that country called the Nigerians anymore. We are Yoruba nation. What we want is Yoruba nation. So, however they are going to conduct it is left for them to know the rule and the regulation and the procedure that are going to apply for it, for us to get it on that for what we demand for. So that's what is going to happen on that aspect, sir. So what we want, our answer to them, that what does these people want is, we want Yoruba nation. How do you want it? Through the referendum. Anyhow they want to declare it, we are ready for it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. I have a question here. It says, those of us who are, thinking of traveling to Nigeria, for the meeting, where do you have any logistics, any arrangement for where to stay, anything, any plans for them?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have a lot of logistics on the ground already. It depends on where you're coming from. For those that are coming from outside the country, like maybe people that come from another country, we are in the computer age now. There's nothing big thing there. We are not, because we don't know the numbers of people coming, so we cannot bargain or arrange for accommodation ourselves. But whoever that is coming, we know that this is where you are coming to, and it's very easy for you to locate any hotel that's very close. Though we do share some hotels, we have some hotels that we arrange with them. We make arrangement with the hotels before, but now all the hotel is full already. Now most of the hotel that's very close to the event venue is full already. But whichever way, a lot of people can just go to the website, go to the Google and get the hotel that's very close, and they can book their accommodation by themselves. So it's very easy. It's not that so difficult at all. So that is not so difficult. So they can get the accommodation by themselves. And for people that are living in nearby, also as well, they can do that as well. So there's nothing much about that to get the accommodation. You know, we have two rallies, one in New York and one in Washington, D.C. Thank you, sir.
So I was just going to come to that question. But let us go back to the question of logistics again. If somebody wanted to see, maybe, somebody's living close by, maybe I can share with them, is there any way they can communicate, between each other, anything going on, anywhere they can find information?
Yes, they can get information through us. That's why we call on everybody to attend the meeting that we normally hold every Saturday. Like today now, we're gonna have the meeting like at 7:30 today in the Eastern time, and that's going to be 7:30 in Eastern time, 6:30 in the Central Times America. And that's why whoever that need accommodation or anything or any information, that is which why this flyers is provided on the social media, that whoever that come across it, you can contact the number there. We have a different numbers there. You can reach to any one of us. Any question you need, any assistance you need, you can reach us. Then we can provide it for you. So no matter how it may be, everybody is there. We have a section by sections. We have section that in the case of the accommodation. We have the section for transportation. We have section for communication. We have all the sections. We have it there. So we not direct you to the section that will handle what you ask for. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. The other question is, you know that the Nigerian government is just, like when we were going to name this program, we were, challenged whether to call it "A Husband Has Gone Mad Again." It's like the Nigerian government is lashing out at anything and everybody. Like a snake that you don't cut his head completely. He starts swinging around and trying to hit anybody that he can, hurt. We learned today, that they closed down a whole telecommunications gadget of Zamfara State. So they closed those people out, so they cannot speak to anybody outside the world, apart from the fact that they've been kidnapping people all over the place. Do you feel safe going on? Do you think people should feel safe going on with this program?
Yes. The stage we have now is no retreat, no surrender. We have a lot of people that have done this in the past and they succeeded. It's only that it was so painful, and it's a very shame that Nigerians, though the country called Nigeria, they are not well educated, they are not well oriented. Even though in the democracy, they don't know anything about the government. Now, you formerly USSR before, how many countries that came out from that USSR without any problem, without any issue? We have seen a lot of countries that they are agitating for the freedom of their people, and nothing, without even war, without even sharing blood. Now you people, because of our self-interest, and now people have wise and everybody eyes has open now. We say we want to go. Now, if you know that you don't want people to go, the only thing they will have done is this: instead of them to sit down to reason why these people say they want to go. Not only Yoruba, you know that is going out of that country. Ijaw is going, Middle Belt is going, Niger Delta is going, Biafra is going. See, this is a very serious issue that they should sit down, and even though outside itself they are also going. You understand? So it means that nobody is pleased with the administration. When Jonathan was there, all this thing did not happen like this. It is not, because things are still manageable that time. Everybody are still using to the system and still managing themselves and getting themselves a little thing to do. But now it's gone beyond the control of everybody could bear again. It's unbearable anymore. So that is why everybody is coming out. So now, and according to our great father, Awolowo, as he said that time, he said, when it is time, the youth will fight for themselves. And now we are fighting for ourselves now. For us to get the liberation, for us to get ourselves out of our freedom. Now that is what is going on right now. And no retreat, no surrender. Yoruba adage used to say, mi ò lè wá kó lè wá joyè lé bàbá ẹ̀. So mi ò lè wá kó kan kò lè jẹ oyè lé bàbá ẹ̀. So that means if you say you are not ready to die, so that means you cannot attain the title, the chief title of the family. So that means you must face it. Now everybody is ready for whatever that is coming out, for the result for whatever that we come out at the end of the day. We are ready to face it. It's no retreat, no surrender. We are not going back. No matter the intimidation, no matter anything. Now they shut down the system in the Zamfara. Is that the solution to the problem on the ground? No. These people, they don't know what else for them. Yes. They don't even know what else. So all what they are doing in order to keep everybody short, the stage are beyond that. They will have done that when we were still in the primary stage. Now it's graduated to university level now. They cannot do anything anymore. Everybody is ready. No matter what is happening, they are ready. So they are already people are dying. So what is the essence of still living without all these things? So we are ready for anything. Nobody is ready to quit, and we are not ready. It's no retreat, no surrender. So, which is yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you. But you see, as a leader, and this question is a bit challenging for me as well. As a leader, you are not just rushing forward or going ahead. You also need to look, once in a while, check over your shoulders and see what's going on. I think on Thursday, it was on Thursday, one of the PDP gubernatorial aspirants I will call it, was boasting and trying to encourage other people to come and collect the form and join him. I will beat them, I will do this, and I will do that. After this rally, because in my vision, this is not a small thing at all. This is not a small thing at all. And I remember Professor Akintoye had said that there will be no elections, in Nigeria, at least in the Yoruba area, with the 2023 going on. What do you think the political situation will look like in Nigeria after this mega rally? Because things will definitely change.
The only thing, what we have foreseen there is that we as a Yoruba people, we lack of a lot of confidence. We lose ourselves in so many ways. As all these politicians, if we are to do it critically, if we are to say the truth, by now we should have called off them back. For them to know that we are not joking. All of them, that they refuse to out of that place, that they refuse to join us, that they refuse to follow the heart of the people, and they defend the people that send them the message to go and represent them in the House of Assembly, or the National Assembly, and the House of Representatives. By now we should have been working on how to call them back. Now, in 2023, I'm 100% sure, by His grace, by God's grace, if God leaves us, there won't be election in 2023. There won't be anywhere called Nigeria before 2023. We are saying it that because of all these things that is on the table now, if God permitted us and God granted us a long life, we are going to get Yoruba nation before that time. If the people that are still remaining as Nigerians, they want to conduct anything called election, that is their own cup of tea. It's not belong to us. It's not applicable to us anymore. We want Yoruba nation, and we are not going to be the part of them in 2023. The reason why is that, like I said earlier, we are not Nigerian. And according to the law, according to Constitution, the Nigerian government did not have any say on us. It's a slap on our face for Nigerian government to be giving us an order, sending the police to attack any one of us, while we are not under them. It's just like you now, as a man of the house, I don't live in your house, I'm not belong to your house, but I came to your house to be slapping you in your house and getting you arrested in your house. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. We are not Nigerian. So all what the federal government of a so-called Nigerian 419 people they are doing it out of law. They are taking it up by the hand. Because of it's a country that did not respect the constitution and the law. And that is why the United Nations, the world entirely, to come into this matter. And they did not have the situation at all. When we are be out of this country, they will have summoned them that you people, you don't have rights on these people anymore, including Biafra, all the people that wanted to go. They don't have all the self-determinations. They don't have rights on any one of us anymore. Because according to the constitution, we are no more under them anymore. Yoruba nation is not under Nigerian anymore. Nigeria is a country on its own. We are self-determined. We are not that entirely burdened as well. We are not part of them. So if they want to conduct election in 2023, is anybody that want to join them for that election, that is their own palatable cup of tea. It's not applicable to us. So no retreat and no surrender. In 2023, no election. And we pray before that time, we have our own flag already. And if you remember, sir, we have registered as UNPO. And under the constitution of UNPO, we are not belong under country anymore. That is the law. That's what the law says. We are not under them anymore. So by now, we should build on ourselves and ruling under ourselves and make all things done by ourselves, not by them by giving us ruling or doing this or doing that. Like the way they burst into the house of the so they go last time. It's against the law. Under the constitution, is against the law.
Thank you, sir.
So that is just it. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, because of our time, I still want us to talk about New York and Washington. What are the differences?
Yes, okay. In a New York rally is a comprised of all the is for the United Nations Congress. For all the nations that is coming down to New York that time, we want them to see us that no, we are ready, and these are the people that genocide is happening in our country, and we want our freedom. For them to know and to identify us and to recognize us that these people, they are here for something important. All the president will be there. The world will see us. That is for the United Nations. And being our leader will be there to give a room avenue to speak on that day. So when Baba will be speaking inside, we will be outside shouting. They will know that something is really going on. These people, they mean the business. So that is for New York. And for the Washington, there's a lot of logistics that want to apply in the New York. But because of the security reasons and because of other things that we might not be able to have at that time, we really need the concept. We really want to get the attention of the government, both American and all over entire the world. We know that October I initiated October 1 last year, and we know that since then we have been working on October. So October 1st is going to be the rally all over the global. Now in the Washington DC, we have 3 days in Washington DC, which is a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That is September 30th, October 1, and October 2. In the September 30th, that is a Thursday, we are going to station at the British Embassy. We want them to know that we want them to take care of the problem that they are caused. They cause all these problems, they put us in all these problems. They merge us together. Are you telling me that British is not know what is going on in Nigeria today? But they kept quiet. They silent, they did not say anything about it because of what they are derived from them. So we want to go and stop them and let them know that we are ready for this business. We meet them seriously this time around. So we'll be at the British Embassy on Thursday, and on Friday, we'll be marching. We are going to meet the senators. That's the American senators. In this, they call it the Capitol Hill. We'll be at the Capitol Hill on Friday morning. We'll be there with all the senators. We are there with them. We are going to. They will come out to address us. We are going to tell them what we want. We are going to let them know what is really going on. So if they did not hear us very well in the New York, they will not hear us now. Yes. So if we try from the top and we see that it doesn't work, then we start from the root. It's just like you want to cut a tree. If you're cutting the branches and you discover that it's still growing up, then you go to the root and uproot it from the foundation. Then you will know that you get a very good result. So we need to go and see all the senators and talk to them, get them all the information that we know that is very important. If that woman is talking that nothing is going on in Nigeria, then let's come and sit down and prove it that nothing is going on again. So on that Friday, we'll be in the Capitol with the senators. Then we come back again. From there, we march back to the White House. That's in front of the Joe Biden's house. We are going to station there. See Joe Biden, let him know that our Lord has said, we are here. No matter what it may be, we are here. So we are there. So we'll be here on that Friday. Then Saturday also, we also be there on that Saturday. So it's going to be 3 days marathon mega rally for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So for those people that doesn't have time to come to New York, they can come to the Washington DC. And that Washington DC, we are going to have a time. We are going to have a lot of logistics that we plan that want to execute already. We'll be able to execute it very well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. That has been wonderful. It's been a great exposition to what's going on and the way things are going. I'm going to come back to the issue of security and particularly of the leaders, because the reason why Chief Sunday Igboho is not outside today is for them to stop this kind of movement. The reason why Nnamdi Kanu is not on the street today is because they want to stop this kind of big movement. And like I got somebody sent me a warning yesterday that they are after top people so that this kind of rally doesn't hold, and it's not just it wasn't just a threat. I mean, it wasn't just a warning. Somebody who actually called me, they were trying to find out my movement when I'm traveling to New York, how I'm traveling to New York. And then somebody hacked into my bank account. I'm talking of yesterday. And my bank had to call me. So it means, it gives me the idea that, definitely they are trying to monitor anybody who is anybody in this movement. So,
sir, thank you so much for the question.
Yes.
Let me tell you something today, sir. If that come up a man dies once. We can't die twice. And this is an advanced country. We are not in Nigeria. We are not in location 419. Nobody can intimidate anybody in this land. Nobody can intimidate anybody here. On this land, nobody can intimidate anybody. And nobody can threaten anybody here. We are the leaders. We are ready to face whatever is coming up. So far as I am now, as a law-abiding citizen, in America here, now, if they come to me today, I will ask them, what have I done wrong against the Constitution or against the law? I didn't carry gun. No, I didn't kill anybody. What is my offense? What did I committed? If for me to fight for the freedom of my people, I'm ready to die. Yes, Martin Luther King, he fought for the blacks on this land. Today, everybody is coming to enjoy it again. So let's fight for our land, and let anything that will happen, we are ready for it. I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for my upcoming generation. Like the Chief Igboho used to say, he said, I'm not doing all these things to become a governor or to become a president of the Yoruba nation. No. Only what I want my name to be in record for life, as they are mentioning Babawolowo today. So if they said they don't want the rally to come, they can do that only in Nigeria, not in America, not in advanced countries, not in UK, not in Germany, not in America. Nobody can try that here. We have laws here, and they respect the laws in advanced country, not like Nigeria that they don't have laws there, they don't abide in law, they don't respect law, they don't have anything called law. That all of them sleep in one place and put heads together at the same place. Here it's not like that. We have intelligent people here, the vibrant people, the intellectual people, the well-recognized people, the people that have the feelings of human being. Those are people that we have in America and in other countries. Not like Nigeria, they don't have feelings for the human being, but they have feelings for the for cow. Why would you be killing a nation, a whole generation of people that destroy people because of cow? Because of open grazing or open grazing. Because they did not allow to open grazing, and you are killing people, and you did not say anything because of that. No any country will do that in advanced world. So America will never be like that. So if they come to America, they say they want to threaten all the leaders, and the rally will not. Oh my God, that one is a bullshit, man. It can't happen in America. It can't happen in advanced countries. It can never happen. If they try all that, we have the security man. We report them to security. It's still a crime. They should tell us it's a crime where it was written in the constitution that when you are fighting for your freedom, for the freedom of your people, it's a crime without even committing any weapon. We didn't carry any weapon. We only carry our flag. We only carry our banner that we want a freedom. If it is for us to speak that we want a freedom that is a crime, then let the young one judge us Then we are ready to face it. If that is a crime that we are committed. So what they are doing back in location 419 so-called Nigeria, they cannot practice it in even though in Ghana, they cannot even try it in Togo. Talk less of in America as well. Oh my God. They can never try that. If they try it here, they will go back on shame. In fact, as a matter of fact, if we see them that they want to disgrace all of them. Yes, we can disgrace all of them that day in the law. Not permitted us to disgrace them. Don't you see the president in the France that will match slap? What happened after that time? Oh, come on. It's all that one is a rubbish and the bullshit. They can do that in the bullshit in the zoo. My daddy, oh my God. They can't try that one here, sir. We are we are advanced people, we are learned, we are educated people. And this country is a country that respects law. They can never threaten anybody here in this America. They can never try that. Oh my God. If they try it, they will spend it very well. That is not the truth.
Thank you, sir. This is wonderful. I thank you so much. It's been great having you. I look forward to the rally. I mean, I know the whole situation, the whole campaign changes after that rally. Everything changes, and we cannot. You will always be. Your name will always be right there in in gold, written in gold. For pulling this, for making it happen. So I'm honored to be able to share this platform with you, and I thank you so much. I look forward to Yoruba Nation, even right after September 14. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. You're welcome.
Hi. Meet Dr. Noah Omoluabi, or Pastor Noah as you may prefer, depending on the business setting. He is ably qualified to talk about igniting the fire of leadership in young people for the purpose of creating their own legacy. He is the thought leader behind the concept of culture psychology for acquiring the office of the chief executive. No professor teaches anyone how to make friends. As your new hire walks out of the college gate into the corporate space, the innate forces are ignited for an ambitious career based on cultured leadership skills and a sound understanding of how to build profitable workplace networks. He may be engaged with chief executives, trying to convince them about necessary changes to be included in their leadership programs. He coaches senior executives, holds small group seminars and webinars, as well as facilitate large workshops. Noah is schooled in organizational management. His international exposure in many roles gave him the opportunity to